In our practice, I'd say that I see the harms related to alcohol, not just every working day, but every working hour. And I see it with all different types of people. I see it with the relatively deprived, and I see it with the more middle-class patients. We've got a 24-year-old girl who is in advanced alcoholic liver disease and is almost certain to die shortly at the age of 24. When I was a medical student 30 years ago, nobody had alcoholic liver disease until they were in their 40s. But she's been drinking about 5 or 6 litres of strong white cider daily since her early teens. And with strong white cider, that's the cheapest way of buying your alcohol. You can get it from as little as 18 pence per unit. 18 pence per unit. The proposed minimum price is 50 pence per unit. That's the sort of alcohol that would be seriously affected by minimum pricing. And it's simply inconceivable that she would be able to buy 6 litres of strong white cider a day if it cost 50 pence a unit. As well as the physical problems of alcoholic liver disease and heart disease and stroke, you get injuries and accidents and violence. And in fact, the effects of alcohol are actually greater on people other than that who actually drink it. It's the economic and social effects, the divorce, the time off work, the violence and the disorder in the streets, which are the biggest price that we all pay for alcohol. So even people that don't drink at all are paying the price for Scotland's alcohol problem. They call that passive drinking. Some critics of minimum pricing for alcohol suggest that you're punishing the poor by putting up the price of their enjoyment. In fact, the exact opposite is the truth, because the poor are disproportionately affected by alcohol-related harm. 80%, that's 80% of the people in the poorest quintile, that's the poorest 20% of the population, actually don't drink at all. But the 20% who do drink, nearly all drink to massive excess. And they're the people who would be protected by minimum alcohol pricing. I mentioned earlier strong white cider. If you're drinking strong white cider, then you're very unlikely indeed to be drinking responsibly. It's not the sort of drink that many people take a small measure of with their food. It's nearly only drunk by people with alcohol problems. The price, or rather the affordability of alcohol, is one of the crucial factors in allowing people to drink to excess. And minimum unit pricing for alcohol would transform things because it targets the drinks such as strong white cider and vodka, which are disproportionately drunk by harmful and dependent drinkers. Alcohol problems affect all classes in society, and in fact the most wealthy quintile, the most wealthy 20% drink more on average than the poorest, but the poorest are disproportionately affected by the harm. But even the more middle class drinkers are price sensitive, and many of them are surprised to hear how much they drink when I tease out the information from them. A conversation often goes something like, oh, how much do you drink? Oh, hardly anything at all, just at the weekends. And I say, and what do you drink at the weekends? And after some minutes, it can transpire that they're having a bottle of wine on the Friday and on the Saturday. And for a man, let alone a woman, this is a dangerous amount to be drinking. And these people are surprisingly some of these people are surprisingly price sensitive. The bottle of wine wouldn't slip so easily into the supermarket trolley if it was costing over £5 a bottle rather than £3.99.